Hello everybody, my name is Ibanithos and welcome to Warframe Basics. Today we are doing two little things. We're going to be talking about syndicates. Syndicates are a piece of the puzzle that I forgot in my previous selection of tutorial videos to put up. And so we're going to talk about the syndicates and touch a little bit on PvP, Conclave. So syndicates are these six guys right here, plus Cephalon, Samaris. You also there's also a couple on Earth, which is Cetus and the Quills. Now, the Cetus and the Quills, don't worry about them too much. They're pretty easy to get, but I'll also show them off too. So the Syndicates are Steel Meridian, Arbiters of Hexus, Cephalon Suda, the Parent Sequence, Red Veil, and New Loka. Now, I allied myself with Cephalon Suda because I liked what they said about it. I didn't look at her rewards before I did, and you always should look at the rewards of the different syndicates before you start playing with them, because some are unique. Cephalon Suda has these selections of, well, shield restores and some barrel parts and whatnot, as well as some pretty symbols you can put on your Warframe, relic packs, and the Shield Osprey Spectres. They also have these weapon mods: Bolto, Kestrel, Obex, and Supra. Beyond that, they have all these different augment mods for Warframes. Now, the big ones they have, of course, is Banshee, Chroma, Frost, Hydroid, Avara, Limbo, Mirage, Nova, Neza, Octavia, and Valbon. So those are the Warframes that this syndicate kind of plays around with. You also, of course, have the 3 weapons that syndicates give, as well as the Captura scenes if you like Capturas, and a Syadana if you like Syadanas. This one's actually kind of cool because it gets brighter and brighter the more you scan. So it's useful if you haven't done a lot of scanning and you want to do a lot of scanning. This is kind of a cool thing to have. But once you've finished out most of your codex, it kind of just stays dull all the time. Okay. But syndicate weapons and these things here, as you notice, they give like a 20% chance to explode. That's kind of cool. But what's entropy? Right? What's entropy? On all 4 of them, there's entropy. Well, entropy also is attached naturally to these 3 weapons. And what entropy is a radial explosion for, I think it's 40 meters. It regenerates, it gives you 25 additional energy past your cap. So if, let's say, you have 200 energy and you activate a syndicate weapon, it will go you up to 225. And it will also create an area of big radius damage of magnetic in the case of Cephalon Suda. Now, I don't know all of them, so Suda is the one I know the most about, and Arbiters of Hexus, so I'll talk about those 2. Now, the Synod Heliocore, you can actually charge attack and kill enemies, and it will recompose them as an ally. They only last for like 30 seconds or 25 seconds, but it's pretty cool if you kill someone with this thing, and also you get a specter of them. It's kind of fun. The Synod Simulator is kind of neat. It has a higher damage and stuff than the regular Similar. It also, when you use the Similar, it kind of makes these balls and they combine together and do big explosions. It's really kind of cool. And the Synod Gamma Core, which is basically a laser beam. And then, like, all of these will explode in a radial damage after a certain amount of affinity or a certain number of kills have been had. So they're kind of like a slow building up time bomb. All the weapons from the syndicates are kind of like that, though. So as you can see, syndicates give you rewards, and these are rewards that are only available to the syndicates. Like this one does Burst on Prime, Jaw Sword, Salvian, and Yes, which is kind of a cool one. And Stinging Truth, which is Viper. And they do Ash and Equinox and Loki. Excalibur, what stings. Of course, where would they be without Excalibur? One Gara thing, which I hope they get more Gara stuff. Harrow, and so on and so forth. And they have some overlap into Volt, Mirage again. You also will see Naros and Limbo. So there is some overlap to the different groups. These guys here have the Bolt Lace, the Boltor, and the Arc Bolto. Something to remember very, 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 very much so is the weapons you see in here these weapons are unique, so they do give you mastery for your MR rating, so it's something to think about. And then, of course, I have Steel Meridian too. Now, these three all work together. And if you look at the top, well, not the top, but the middle right here, you'll see the alignments: enemy, opposed, and allied. So if I gain 5,000 standing with the Arbiter's Hexus, I gain like 2,500 for the Cephalon Suda. I lose like 2,500 for the Parent Sequence, and I lose 5,000 exactly for the Red Veil. So I gain half as much, I lose half as much, and I lose the whole amount against the enemy. So Cephalon Suda is allied with Arbiters of Hexus. Steel Meridian is allied with Red Veil. So basically, I get some with Steel Meridian, I get a little bit less off this, and every so often kind of things happen around. But the Red Veil, they're opposed to Cephalon Suda, and they're enemies of Arbiter's Hexus, so there's no way I can play with all the different sequences together, because they're always going to be opposed or enemies of certain ones that I already have. Usually two.
Just like the rest, tainted and ruined beyond salvation.
Oh, shush, New Luca. So when you see when you look at your syndicates normally, you are at a 0. Nothing. It takes about 5,000 standing to get to the next rank. You can initiate yourself, of course, by sacrificing credits and some type of resource, or sometimes it's a blueprint part, which can be annoying. So something to keep in mind. Now, I'm not going to give myself to the new... Actually, you know what? I will. Just because I can.
You are pure, my Tenno.
Yeah, you changed your whole mind right there. You changed your whole mind right there. Anyways, so those are syndicates in a nutshell. Basically, a few things that you need to run over to them. You just saw me get a symbol. And one of the things that people don't realize at first is that if you run a Warframe, go to the Appearance tab, you go down to Regalia, you can do a front sigil or a back sigil, and the sigils are like the Arbiters of Hexus, and the ones that have the little like 9-pointed star or 8-pointed star, those are the ones that if you equip them, they convert part of your experience into standing with the different faction. Like this one is Cephalon Suda, this one is the Steel Meridian, this one is Arbiters of Hexus. I think I got the New Loca one somewhere here. New Loca Sigil. So I got the New Loca. Ostron. You get as you go up in them as well, you also will get more impressive ones that you can purchase, ones that give you more conversion. Like this one gives me 8%, or the Oracle Sigil that gives me 15% of my affinity is converted, and so on and so forth. You get them from purchasing them through the particular faction itself. So, like this one, like New Loca, I just got put onto. I need so much. Basically, I'd have to do a lot of missions for the New Loca just to get somewhere. I'm curious of whether I got New Loca missions. Nope, don't have New Loca missions. That's what I thought. So somehow I'd have to get the New Loca sigil and wear it. Get enough standing with them to see now. Oh my God, she wants an Orokin reactor. Oh boy. Ugh! That's what it takes to get me out of Condemned. Oh boy, it hurts. So as you can see, Syndicates aren't the easiest to get out of once you've gotten kind of in depth. Next, we're talking a little bit about the Conclave, and once again, kind of overviewing with the Syndicates. Get them, start them. They're not going to be too hard to do. They're always going to get you something in the end. But really think about what Warframes you're going to play a lot with, what you like playing with, if it's stealth, if you've already created your kind of play style. Then you pick the 3, because you only get to pick 3. You got to pick these 3 or these 3. You pick the 3 that are going to fit you the best with the Warframes that you're going to play. I like Trinity at the first, but I realized that I'm very happy I did not stick with Trinity as my primary frame because New Loca. Anyways, then you have Conclave. Conclave, kind of like any other standing, is you get caps out based on your mastery. And they have 4 different types. 1 for all, 4x4, 4v4, and 3v3. There you have Team Annihilation, Cephalon Capture, which is kind of like Capture the Flag. Annihilation is just, deathmatch. And Lunaro is a bit like a game of sports. Kind of like lacrosse. Now, personally for me, don't do a lot of this. And here's why. Conclave is bad. Conclave is very bad, and I'll show you why. So, when you go to your arsenal, a lot of people are like, oh, I have this most powerful frame. I want to go do Conclave because I'm super good. When you go to Conclave, you have to look at your Conclave mode selection. And if you noticed, I have these max rank things, right? But if I go into here, I have no mods. Nada. And you don't have any mods because Conclave mods are very specific. And you don't get Conclave mods from much. So basically all Warframes are pretty much at a baseline amount of power. Same thing with weapons. You don't get like your super ridiculous bolt. Instead you get like Zoom. That's about all you got. Even my Nightfall Whisper does not get its arcane, which would make it even stronger than it normally is. Because everything is basic. So when you're playing in Conclave, everything, and I literally mean everything you have is gone. So don't expect you to be like this most powerful beastie boy when you go to Conclave after you have the most powerful Warframe in the game and you're so happy with yourself. Because that's not how things will work. So everyone, that's pretty much Syndicates and Conclave, but I will show you one other pairing of Syndicates because I feel like it's necessary, and that is on Earth in Cetus itself. So, of course, everyone should know Cetus for the most part. It is the place where the Ostrons are. They are kind of the first real open world expansion that we had in the game, which is the Plains of Eidolon. So we'll fly down here to Cetus. And my game will freeze. Okay, there. It's nighttime and it's raining. Oh, it's a fun time. Or it's at least evening. There's the Tower of the Unum. It's one of the few remaining Orokin towers that still exists. Every so often they blow off a part of its flesh and they eat it. Yep. They're eating tower meat. Anyways, to get kind of the disturbing aspect of that out of the mind, if you think about it, they're probably, this is their way of life, so. Ostron can be quick accessed through the fast travel. Hanzu is one of those people you can talk to. Oh boy, it's different. So the Ostrons have their own standing, as you can see. And depending on their standing that you have with them, you can get different goods. Like, for example, if I go over here to where you build your Zaws, you pick up Zaw parts from this man here, Hawk, Master Hawk. So if I browse his wares, I can get these basic parts to start with, and then as I start going down, they start requiring certain levels of standing. Now all the parts also themselves require standing to purchase them, which is kind of annoying. But each one of these levels above requires a higher level of standing rank with them. This happens with not just them, it also is Old Man Sumbat, which is the guy who does mining. So all the mining stuff that you want to do, some of it's like some of these are just decorations, but like doing the gems and doing these other things, they require higher levels of standing with the Ostrons. Basically, the Ostron standing can be summed up like this. You get standing to get more standing. The only one who's really that useful for standing when it comes down to it is Master Hawk, because you want Zaws. Zaws are very, very useful tools. So when you pick up his parts and pieces, then you can get more cool things. And these are all his strikes and whatnot, and all the links. And you make a Zaw from those 3 parts. Now, I will go into Zaws another time, because this is not the time for those. This is just for time for looking at factions. The only other faction you can do is a bit of a spoiler. I won't go to it, but it's the quills in Cetus here. They're found. Quills can be found right over here. This blue door. So if you are to the point where you can use the quills, that's where they are found. So everybody, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. It's been kind of a fun one, actually. Got a Zos sword, which is kind of cool. Please give a like, comment, subscribe if you can. If I'm not doing something right, if you guys don't like how I'm doing things, if you want to see more action or something, let me know in the comments. Until next time, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and thank you so much, guys, for watching. Bye-bye.